dropped one of its major charges against top mom Casey Anthony, that charge of child neglect. I've got it right here in my hands, the indictment. And this indictment on child neglect, remember, came down before the evidence showed a dead body had been in her car, and it charges her with failing to care, supervise, maintain the health of the little girl. Now, clearly, they believe that this is not consistent with a murder one charge. This charge supposes that little Kelly is still alive. Mark, the child neglect count has been dropped. Why?
Well, the big reason was, first off, that charge was filed back in July when Casey was first arrested because they were operating, the state's attorney's office operating under the premise that the child was alive and well someplace, even though that she had been missing 31 days. Now, just a couple of weeks ago, if you recall, the grand jury here in Orange County handed up those 7 indictments, one of them being first-degree murder, which obviously trumps the child neglect charge. Now they're operating under the premise that little Kaylee is now dead. Nancy?
Mark, when you read the child neglect indictment, does it lay out exactly what they charged? Did they charge, for instance, that she didn't report the child missing, or that she handed the child over to someone she was not familiar with? Did they lay out the facts of the neglect?
Well, if you take a look at Florida law under neglect, it's you neglect a child when you don't care for their physical well-being, you don't treat them well, you maybe abuse them, things of that nature. And of course, she has told some tall tales about Zenaida Gonzalez, leaving her with Zenaida Gonzalez, which nobody by that name exists, that she handed her off to. So in essence, they considered her at the time abusing that child.